Hi, everybody. So I am here to talk to you today about the humanities electives on offer in Year 10. Okay, but firstly, let's quickly think about why you would study a humanities subject. So, do you want to travel the world? Do you want to know how to break the law? Do you want to help save the world? Or do you want to get rich? If you want to do any of those things, choose a humanities subject. Okay? And to look at it a little bit more, why would you choose a humanities subject in this technology dominated day and age? Okay, well, recent studies have actually shown that humanities subjects have more jobs and are happier than other graduates. Okay, so the average earnings of a humanities grad after 3 years is 70,000, whereas a science grad is about 2,000 less. So if that is important to you, something to consider. The Bachelor of Arts makes the most company directors. So if you are looking at one day being in charge, making a lot of money, something to consider. Humanities graduates have the highest levels of job satisfaction. So someone with a humanities degree is more likely to be happier in their job than somebody without. Alright. And then some more statistics around a lot of people who are in charge of big organisations, government sectors, federal parliaments have a degree in humanities. Okay, so it's definitely a worthwhile pathway to consider if that is something that you are passionate about. So, what subjects do we have on offer? Firstly, we have history. Okay, so in Year 10 history, you will study the modern world. You will look at Australia for a little bit. Okay, you'll look at how the 20th century, so the 1900s, was such a critical period globally. Okay, how conflict changed, how weaponry changed, how warfare changed, and the consequences of that. Okay, so the units that we look at the Pacific War, so World War II, but from the Australian, American, Asian perspective, and we look at the atomic bomb and the impacts that it had. We look at the Cold War and the US versus USSR or Soviet or Russian super fight that went on for about 40 years. We look at the US and the Australian civil rights movement, and we look at ancient myths and legends. So we look at Viking myths, we look at, ancient Mesopotamian myths, we look at a little bit of ancient Egyptian myths. Okay, so that is our history course for year 10. So where would a history selection pathway take you into senior? So basically, history is going to help you with any subject. The skills that you will learn in history will benefit you anywhere. But specifically, if you're looking at legal studies, social and community studies, modern history, obviously, English, essential English, history will benefit you. Okay? So, career pathways. There are a number of different pathways history can take you. So you can see on the side there, teacher, diplomat, professor, museum curator, but that's just the obvious stuff. So if you look closer into that little graph, um, basically a history degree can take you anywhere where you're working with people. If you're looking at journalism or international relations or, community relations, anything like that, history is going to benefit you. Alrighty? Next subject, we have geography. So in year 10, geography students look at several different elements, focusing on managing and creating sustainable futures, okay? And looking at environmental and social change. You will explore global pandemics and how to manage them, and you look at real world experiences with some expert presenters visiting the school. So what you look at is human well-being. So how do nations measure and manage the well-being of their citizens? You look at the geography of diseases. I think it's a focus on STDs and communicable diseases and how they spread and how we manage that. Looking at environmental change, so how do the mines recover the land after they have extracted all of the resources from it? And you look at environmental hazards, so how do areas prepare for extreme hazards such as cyclones, flooding, that sort of thing, and how do they recover from that as well? Okay, so career pathways, lots and lots of jobs in geography in our local area in the mines. You've got consultants, environmental science, surveying, engineering, and hopefully you can see most of that graphic. I think my head might be blocking some of it out, sorry. Education, agriculture, energy, right, science and research, lots and lots of different opportunities in the geography field. Next, and pathways. So geography obviously is going to benefit you in geography, in science and practice, in anything environmental science, or in social and community studies. Okay. All right. Next subject, civics and citizenship. So this is where you will look at Australia's system of government. You will look at roles and responsibilities. Look at the United Nations, the High Court. You will investigate what makes us a democratic society, how we sustain that. We also look at criminal law with a particular focus on drug laws. Okay, and the units are criminal law, so looking at drug laws, the Constitution, so the document that basically sets out all the rules for Australia, and the High Court, human rights and the law, and then civil law. So when two people basically want to sue each other, how that works. Okay. And then pathways into 11 and 12. Obviously, it's going to benefit you in legal studies, social and community studies, modern history, and will be helpful for English as well. Okay. And then we've got career pathways. So if you're looking at becoming a police officer, journalism, detective, lawyers, politicians, along with much, much more that you can see in that graph, civics will benefit you. Okay. And our last subject is economics and business. Okay, so all about developing your understanding of economics and business, how governments manage the economy and living standards. Okay, lots of different stuff. Oh, let's go back for a second. Can't go back. Sorry, you'll have to pause it. All right, units that you look at in business. So, consumer decisions. How do we make huge decisions like buying a house, buying a car, spending lots and lots of money? So, what factors to consider when making those consumer decisions? Okay, so economic performance, business life cycle. So, from starting a business to mid cycle to establishing to maintaining, that sort of thing. And then productivity. So pathways, obviously it's going to help you in either business or business studies, which is your general or applied options. It'll be beneficial in tourism or social and community studies. Okay. Or if you are looking at starting your own business, if you want to be, a contractor, for like an electrician contractor, knowing how to start your own business is really going to help you as well. Okay. And then career pathways in business. So these are just purely business pathways, but if you are wanting to start your own business in something totally separate, having that business understanding in the background is also going to be really beneficial. Okay. So that is it for humanities subjects. If you have any questions, come and see me in J Block staff room or send me an email. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Choose humanities.